In the earlier video, we created a measure to show the total sales United States and the total sales Canada. And as we clicked on the slicer, if we show Canada and the United States, these two values added up to total sales. If I take the filter off, then these are the sales for the United States, these are the sales for Canada, and these are the total sales for all countries. What if I want to show a column that actually combines the United States and Canada and gives me these two figures added together? That's when you'd use the OR function. Let me create a new measure. I'm going to right-click the Internet Sales query, choose New Measure, and I'm going to call this Total Sales. And in brackets, I'll say US and Canada. Close the brackets, equals. I'll press Shift Enter and I'll type calculate. The expression or the aggregate or the measure that I want to calculate is square bracket, total sales, comma, and then Shift Enter. Now what I want to do is I want to use the OR function. So I'm going to go OR, and I want the country, so I type country, from the sales territory query, equals double quote United States, double quote comma, Shift Enter. The other country would be country equals double quote Canada, double quote, close bracket. So what I'm doing here, and close the bracket again, what I'm doing here is I want to calculate the expression total sales, but only where, so this is my filter, the country in the sales territory query is equal to United States, or the country in the sales territory query is equal to Canada. And so when I press enter, I've created that new measure, and I can drag it and I can add it to my matrix. Now the only downside with the OR function is it only allows two parameters, and we struck this with the concatenate function where it would only join two strings. The OR function will only let you have two ORs. And so how we get around this is we often use what they call the OR pipe. I'm going to click on the measure US and Canada, total sales US and Canada, and instead of using the OR function, so I'll take this out completely including its bracket, and instead of having a comma, so I'll remove that as well, I'm going to add what they call a double pipe. Now the pipe is above the enter key, it's two vertical dashes, so I hold the shift and I hit the pipe twice, and that's a double pipe. And so when I press enter, actually I can take one of these closed brackets off as well. There's only a need for one bracket which pairs with calculate. And when I press enter, that allows me to get the same result, but it's using the double pipe, which is an OR operator. And that OR operator will allow me to have more than just two. Let's say for argument's sake I wanted the US and Canada and Australia. Then I would simply go to the end here, and inside the double quote, I put a double pipe, Shift Enter, country equals, double quote, Australia, double quote. And so that allows me to have a measure that is the US, Canada, and Australia. So if you need more than two, use the OR pipe. And I'm just going to take that back off just by backspacing all this entry here. And taking out the reference to Australia. And I'm back, if I press enter, to the US and Canada. So that's the OR function and the OR pipe. Now sometimes what's easier is to actually use the IN function, because it can be quite cumbersome, as you saw there, having to enter a whole string for every single country. So I'm going to use the IN operator to determine which ones I want to calculate the total sales for. So I keep this here, I'll take out the double pipe. I want the sales territory country to equal the United States, comma, and then I'm just going to keep in double quotes Canada. And an extra bracket on the end, and put in the front of this, in. Oh, sorry, put it to sales in, instead of the equals, I'll go in and then curly bracket, and at the end of Canada, curly bracket. Okay, so what do we got? Calculate the total sales. This is my filter one, where the country and the sales territory query, in, and then in has curly brackets. So curly brackets, and between each comma, so you can have as many as you like, between each comma, you put your expressions. So United States is in double quotes and Canada is in double quotes. So when I press enter, that's an example of using the in, which is actually shorter and easier, because then if I go back to the example used earlier where I wanted Australia, I just have to add and Australia to my label. And all I've got to do is click inside of the in and go comma, double quote, Australia. Much quicker and less cumbersome if you want to add more countries. And if I want to take it out, just simply backspace out Australia and take it out of the column header. So that's an example of the in function. Really, really good and easy to manage.